Hey guys, what's up? Welcome in. Today is a big day for God. There's a lot of stuff happening in the gaming world right now, but also just a lot of filming is happening here. So we're gonna be very busy today. Hello, hello. For those of you that are regulars to this experience, you know how filming days go. For those of you that maybe are joining in for the first time or haven't seen one of these streams before, of course, this is a day where we film. That's pretty much all there is to it. Summer Game Fest tomorrow is the state of play. The Switch 2 comes out Thursday. Night Rain just came out, so I got to catch up with that. Here there's Opera and the new Genshin boss theme. I also need to upload some videos myself. So this is going to be pretty loosey-goosey. Today at 4 o'clock, I'm doing a Nine Souls OST listen, which I'm really excited about. So basically, just like come on in, stay for the ride. We're just kind of shooting the shit for at least 6 hours. And then some. So in the meantime, I think I want to start with The Witcher 4. I caught a glimpse of some of this, but I didn't get to sit down and listen. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up this because I hold on one second. Let's see. Okay, so here is the cinematic, which I watched without music, so I want to watch this. And then this is the current Unreal tournament, Unreal tournament, Unreal tournament, Unreal Unreal stuff for state of play. And I wanted to go back a bit and watch the Witcher gameplay showcase. I wish it was Unreal Tournament. Are you kidding? So, could you imagine? Unreal Tournament mentioned in 2025. What is this? No. I misspoke. Could you imagine? Oh my god, Unreal Tournament. Although I will say if you Yeah, I am. I just have to share my screen. The one you share with me, Crown. I will say if if you are into Unreal Tournament style games, you might really like Splitgate 2. So if you haven't checked that out yet, that's free. And they had a little bit of a slightly rocky launch for their beta that's open. But that went really well. So let's hop over to this isn't gonna be like a video or anything, but mostly just for the sake of checking out what happened here with The Witcher 4, because I haven't actually watched all of this. I'll probably skim through.
Development in Unreal even better. And it's an opportunity, we just couldn't pass it up. So we've been working on a technical demo together to achieve just that. I think we should take a look at it. You guys ready?
Born ready. Kaitek is going to play the build for us.
Sure, let's do it.
Holy fuck. Oh my god.
This is a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4.
Oh my god.
What you just saw...
Look at the town. Oh my god.
We're going to see now is running on a standard PlayStation
Wait. PlayStation standard PS5?
5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing.
Standard PS5 at 60.
So in the game, you'll be playing as Ciri, a professional monster slayer, a witcher. She explores the world and hunts down monsters for coin. The region we are in is called Kovir. You'll get to explore it in a game. Right now, Ciri is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village. All right, everyone, meet Kelpie.
Kelpie.
Let weeds be weeds, Kelpie.
So just like Geralt had Roach, Ciri has her own loyal companion.
Oh my god.
We return to town.
These two characters need to feel like one. Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding needs to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
Yeah, and to support that, we're introducing multi-character motion matching in Unreal. So Ciri and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. And we also support root motion movement on Kelpie, so controlling her feels realistic and grounded. And there are also some really nice improvements to our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So you've got realistic muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
Wow. Holy shit. Holy crap.
So let's leave Ciri behind for a second and talk about the world itself. So much of the Witcher world is natural, organic, especially Kovir with its dense forest and wild nature.
Yeah, and wild nature is hard. And with
Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling
nanogeometry,
much better.
we've
Thank you,
freed
Sings.
artists from so many of their old constraints. But we don't want to rest until everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do. And foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle.
Wow.
So we are excited to introduce nanite foliage. And in order to achieve gorgeous foliage density everywhere, while still being memory efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea was needed. So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the past 20
See that
years,
grizzly bear? Oh my
artists
god.
should be free to take a nanite approach to foliage, modeling every single leaf and pine needle. And the old LOD tricks of the past, they needed a complete rethink. And in their place, it's a new adaptive voxel representation in nanite. It's
Whoa.
volumetric, it's fully 3D, it is super fast to render. And these dense clusters of triangles turn into these cubes, which at a distance, they're no larger than a pixel, and they react to the changing light of our dynamic sun and shadows, and they allow artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve their vision without compromise.
And no compromise means how ambitious we are when it comes to bringing our vision to life with incredible visuals. But more than that, together with Epic, we created faster way to load the world. We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience as we fly down to catch up with Ciri.
Whoa. God, The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's like one of those like top 10 games to play before you die, in my opinion. Oh my
Welcome
gosh.
to Valdrest. So Valdrest is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade, and mining.
This
It's
shit
one of
makes me
those
emotional. I could like
places where you
cry
can meet
looking how
shady
beautiful this is.
characters or overhear gossip from other lands. It's also where Ciri took on her current contract. High-tech, let's leave Kelpie here and explore the marketplace and food. I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff. Let's see what Valdrest has to offer.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
I present him with a fish. For the furry rascal will often wait, and a bear's weight grants good fortune.
Oh!
Guys, notice how responsive the world is.
Look at the pigs. Oh my god.
Character
Or
actions
boars, I guess.
directly affect what happens around
Whoa.
you, sometimes even setting off chain reactions. Everything
Whoa.
is working together.
My apples.
Oh, look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, look at these two making out over there.
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the series quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
What the fuck? There was a guy in there controlling the... Whoa.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? Ah, Witcheress. What news of my wagons? No eternity is taking that damn salt to arrive.
I found them. And, well, suffice to say, they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I'm not one speck. I presume this comes as no surprise to you. Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is of
No, he's playing live.
the manticore that flattened your cart and devoured your men.
I'm not sure on the lore because I thought only only boys could become witchers.
No,
But I mean, Geralt's been training her with the mutations and stuff. So I mean,
While Ciri decides what to do about that merchant, let's take a look at the character.
She certainly was
technology
trained as a
powered
witcher.
this marketplace.
I'm wondering if
Why don't we
she,
listen
well,
in
she
on
doesn't
these
need to go undergo.
fishmongers? They're selling their wares.
Pretty sure she doesn't need to go under a genetic mutation, right? I forget what happened there, but I know obviously he was training her in the Witcher format. Yeah, right. That's my question. She might be a Witcher in name and in like actions and responsibilities.
And there is tons of tech at play here. Even in the simple market.
That's right, Elder Blood. That's right.
Human tools, improved Unreal smart objects, Chaos Cloth, and more.
Yeah, and all of this exists to make sure that the gap in quality between Ciri and NPCs
What's up?
is as small as possible.
Yeah, and closing that gap, it's not just about fidelity, right? But also authenticity.
God.
They should react to changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in Pillory isn't exciting enough for Valdres. Let's grab everyone's attention with a circle.
Oh, she went through the Witcher's trials? Really? Did those but they're gonna explain it. Yeah, I
But the
figured.
great performance deserves a huge crowd, though. Let's crank it up.
This is the only thing I'm gonna watch, and then I'm gonna start filming Night Rain stuff. I love The Witcher so much. Like, I have 500 hours in this game. Like, it's
So you are seeing tons of optimizations here to many of Unreal systems. including an
I love the
entirely
AC
new
Unity crowd tech.
Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit easily in our 60 FPS budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread. Over 300 animated skeletal mesh agents all going about their business.
Yeah, me too. I was rendering
And
that myself.
The whole point is to leave
Was,
breathing room for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your players expect.
I didn't, Chris.
Empowering
Is
you
that
to
out?
make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You are right. That's the open world RPG that we're making. But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with Ciri?
I trust them. I still really trust CD
We're
Projekt
making
Red.
this game to be the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever. And we are making this a reality thanks to our work on Unreal with the team at Epic.
I wonder if Unreal
I think
just
what we're
requires
doing
like a little
together
bit more
is going
care
to
and
ignite a
and
new
like
generation
like
of open world RPGs, and I'm so proud.
like
of
more
what we
leaning
accomplished
into
so far.
optimization
We
more.
are too.
My two
So we're
experiences
almost
with
done, but
Unreal
before we
haven't
go,
been
here's a small
exceptional.
gift for all Witcher fans.
Ooh. We mean a small
A
gift.
first look at Lanexeter.
Oh my god. Goosebumps.
Onward, Kelby. We've worked.
God, that makes me like so emotional.
Thanks, guys. Seriously, it looks amazing. And we've also barely scratched the surface of what's coming in Unreal 5.6. So here's Julien to tell you even more.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome. I really am excited for that. I hope it's it works out because that's incredible. That's exciting. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna get too worked up about stuff because I think I like being optimistic about things. Let's see. All right, so these are short. Libra. Main menu I've already covered. Maris? Adele? Gladius? No, I'm about to go through each of them right now. And then upload them as separate videos. I played it for a little bit. I actually really don't like it, so I stopped. They're about 7 minutes each. Yeah, I played Phantom Liberty. Okay, let's see. Fulgur. All right, let's see here. Fulgur. Oh, wait. I'm not going to do them all in a row. I'm going to split it up because my ear will burn out from listening to Elden, like FromSoft music style. So, in the meantime, let me throw in, what was that Honkai Star Rail track? Honkai. What's my favorite game? Proi, that's what it is. I don't have a favorite game. I have many favorites. 10 minutes, that's the one. Proi, yeah, that's it. And then Genshin Impact, boss battle. Michael Spires is defining himself as a baritone now. Michael Spires is one of the highest. Huh. Michael Spires has his range is higher than mine, or it was higher than mine. The game before the gate, is that? Yeah, it looks like it. This looks like a chess game. Okay. All right. So I've got that procced. Aquila the Sky Titan. That's. What else did I want to do? There was like another thing I wanted to film today. Well, we'll see where my brain is at, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tracks. This is like old school Marco Meatball. Okay. And obviously I'm going to edit these and upload them, so it's not like this isn't the only time you're going to see this. So I think I'll go with, I'm going to go in order, I think. So, wait, where's Gladius is? No, not yet. I'm going to do all of them here in a second. Night Rain has been an unexpected musical experience? Really? I've played up to 2.0 of HSR. I'm not really crazy about HSR. I much prefer ZZZ. Hey, Wilder. Do you know any good soundtracks or artists for ambient music in a Call of Cthulhu TRT RPG? I don't. Not off the top of my head. You mean like composer? Is it all Shoei Miyazawa? It looks like it's a team. Shoei Miyazawa, Tai Tomiso, Somachi, Yoshikazu, Yuka Kitamura did some stuff? Huh. Shoei, Tai Tomisawa, Soma Tanizaki, Yoshikazu Takayama, and Yuka Kitamura. I love PGR. I'm sorry, Wilder. I wish I could like think off the top of my head. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. Okay. All right, let's go to Gladius. This is Tai Tomisawa. Okay. All right. I'm ready. So this is just a classic. I'm going to do introductions for each one since they're all going to be separate videos, of course. Just bear with me. And then I'll say bye at the end of each video. So obviously that's not saying the stream is over, of course. Let's dive into it. Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Marco. I'm actually not a former professional opera singer. I don't perform live. This is getting complicated. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Marco. I'm an opera singer turned YouTuber, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective after spending a decade on the stage. Today, we are listening to Gladius Beast of the Night from Elden Ring Night Rain. I have heard this track before, so this is going to be more of a breakdown based on what I experienced while playing this. I really only got to this boss and then a little bit of the second boss, and then honestly, Night Rain's not really for me in terms of its style. I hope you're enjoying it. It's definitely a new take and a new experience on the FromSoft / Elden Ring experience. I'm actually much more excited for the Duskbloods personally, but I was really impressed with much of the music I heard, and I'm really looking forward to breaking down every Night Lord theme from this game. So let's check it out. Gladius Beast of the Night. I don't know if these characters have lore, but let's just wing it as we go. Here we go. Wow, oh, that's a cool. You know, there's one thing I'm noticing about this track that I haven't noticed in previous, I've listened to basically every FromSoft track, more or less, certainly Bloodborne being my favorite, but one thing I'm noticing is the VST, there's like a bit of a flat quality in it, so it doesn't necessarily, it feels a little bit like, it's not really going anywhere. It just feels like a lot of there are highs and lows and things, and I do appreciate a lot of the string movement especially, but what I'm really lacking here is it sounds very it sounds very fake. It sounds very like tinny, and almost that kind of thing that you would hear like on a digital workstation, which is where obviously most of these are coming from. So there's a bit of that's a little bit disappointing to me from listening to it. I'm missing a little bit of like the breath in the track. Now that said, I think what's really cool here is a bit of this transition right here, which is super dope. So one of the things that stands out to me the most is the fact that Gladius, obviously when we first encounter this fight, it's a Cerberus, right? It's the three-headed beast, and then it splits. And I think what's really cool in the track is you can hear the moment that it like deviates from itself, and it splits up into those three. Because really the dominant musical identity of this piece is essentially the three branching heads, if you will, right? Like I find it kind of interesting that you have a strong brass element, a strong cello element, a strong violin element, and it almost feels like a string quartet, but it's like very expounded on and very enhanced. So there's there's like a splitting off or branching paths that I think occurs, and maybe that's why it kind of feels like it's not like a cohesive experience. Because if you think about it, when you're fighting Gladius, when it splits into three, it isn't cohesive. In fact, it's very jarring when you're experiencing that, because you're not sure what to do. You have your two teammates on the other side that are, you don't know where Gladius is going to turn, or if all three of the wolves are going to focus on you, or if they're going to focus and split their attention. So I think it's kind of interesting here how this track essentially leans into that. Now, it may not necessarily be the best track for like having your mouth agape, or like, feeling like a cohesive energy to it. But I don't necessarily think that that's a negative, even though listening to it in this particular context is a little bit like, okay, what am I'm trying to pick up on something here that might be interesting or worth talking about, but I'm not necessarily finding anything. Now, give me 1 second, guys, because unfortunately, I had to adjust my sound settings, and my Chrome is fairly quiet, so I need to change something, which sucks. But hold on 1 second. Volume mixer. Oh, that's why. Okay, let me see if that's better. Yeah, much better. Okay, it's probably way louder for you guys, but all right, let me just rewind a little bit. Okay, let me just rewind a little bit and pick up from there. I love that. I love that little moment, by the way, too. Like, it's such a fun thing. We hear this a bit in FromSoft soundtracks in general, but I also think it's like absolutely a classical gesture. Beyond in the strings. That naturally causes a sense of tension and a sense of stress. It's also kind of scary because it's like, oh no, what's going to happen? There's this bit of, I think that's the moment that Gladius splits off into three, and suddenly we're faced with the reality of having to fight three instead of one. Beyond, what the hell? Boom. You know what I mean? Because check it out. Yeah. And that's really fun too. This little corner, listen to this. Love that. A little bit of da da da, just those triplets. Da 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 da. And that to me really, again, gives way to this idea of like jumping or pouncing or not knowing which way it's going to twist or turn, which is really fun. There too. Shum ba da 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 da. That's really fun. Listen again. Listen to that lower bass part. Right there. Right there. And to me, so even right there, we have that lower bass, da da ya da 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 da. That to me really gives way to this idea. Now, I don't know if there is lore for these characters, but it doesn't really matter for our purposes. Like, one of the things that's really fun about music is making up our own lore, and whether or not it's correct or not, you know, obviously context matters. But in this particular case, it feels like Gladius almost there's a little bit of that Sif ideation in it, where, you know, it's loyal and like Gladius is protecting something. I don't think that Gladius is necessarily like its own thing. Like, I think that Gladius serves a higher purpose, whatever that purpose may be. I don't know, but there's a bit of like, in that particular sound, it feels like there's a quality in that of duty or responsibility. The way that the bass like the lower strings descend downward to me. It's almost like reaching into the pit of hell and saying like, no, I'm not gonna let myself get stuck down here. I'm gonna fight back and fight against it. It feels very much like this is Gladius's theme, which is the case with any of these boss themes, right? Like they feel less about us as players and characters and more about them as you know, them as characters, which is really cool. But yeah, to me, that almost feels like, no, I'm not going to let myself give up. I'm not going to let myself get stuck in this. I have to fight back. I have to defend my master or something. Obviously, I know it's a dog, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I have to admit, this reminds me a little bit of the Boreal Valley with the brass tinniness. There's a quality in that I don't actually like very much in terms of how the sound is created. It sounds very fake, which usually I don't care, but for whatever reason, it's just very noticeable to me here. I don't know if it's because of the brass movement or the way that the strings are playing. So part of the thing that I really like about this this is plainly a second phase, is the snare drum. It's really cool because the snare drum represents, to my mind, you know, poise, military might, strength, focus, order. It almost feels like Gladius in this moment is being commanded. And so Gladius takes immense pride. Obviously, it's a Cerberus, but like, just go with me. Pride in following the orders of the master. And so what we end up getting here is this snare section that is very, it's like supported by the snare and the percussion. Now, obviously, we still have the strings, we still have the brass, we still have all of that. But it feels more driven. Also because it's a phase 2, which I don't remember seeing a phase 2 for Gladius, but it doesn't matter unless the phase 2 is when it splits off and it does the 3 versions of itself. But yeah, there's something about that, and I mean, I'm not trying to be critical or like be like, you know, oh well, it's not good because it's not with real instruments. But what I'm suggesting is, it just sounds very tinny and sort of hollow, and I think that sound, in listening to it, detracts from some of the emotional integrity of the piece. But it's interesting. Yeah, see, ooh, that's cool. Da, tia, tia, tia. That's really neat. So listen to this. Listen how cool this is. Right there. So you have this sense of like, no, you can't get in the way. I have to defeat you. Bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum. That rhythmic gesture is a gesture of like forward momentum and propulsion. And then underneath you have this like interesting struggle where it goes da 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 da, as if to say no. You know, like we can't, I can't let you get past me. I can't let you do this. I can't let you do anything. It's pretty cool. This is phase 3 that we haven't heard yet. That's dope as hell. Bum, 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 bum. That's such a cool rhythmic movement. To me, it feels like Gladius is engulfed in flame at this point and basically untouchable. Like, to me, it feels like he like pulls forward all of the energy that maybe was used to release the 3 dogs and combines into one even bigger version with flames and shit. Like, he goes Super Saiyan. But I love how, because of the brass, it almost feels like a comet falls on him or something, and all of a sudden he's like, you know, because listen to how cool this is. Listen to this transition. Right? There's so much weight in that. I really like that. There's a hint of a back male choir as well. Whenever there's a choir, it always is like a Super Saiyan extra thing. It becomes 9 dogs, exactly. Like, there's this quality there of just empowerment, and also of like ultimate form rage. And I think it's really fire focused. Now, obviously I've seen Gladius and fought Gladius, actually beat Gladius. Thank you. The one Night Lord I beat. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this thing down. But it's incredible how, like, in this moment, the brass emphasis and the forward momentum that we've heard throughout this entire track is actually tripled down. Not just because it's the 3rd phase, but also because there's just more of a wholesale movement together in unison, right? Which is pretty dope. Do you see how different this is from the first 2 phases? This has forward momentum and unison, and it's a unified singular focus that we did not hear. The first phase especially was kind of meandering and a little bit kind of like whatever, but in this phase, you really have bum, brum, 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 bum. That drive is so unified together with itself that it sends home this idea of like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, this is a dangerous situation. And I think that's really effective and really powerful. It's very dope here. It's very expansive. Check this out. But one more stop. I'm intrigued by this because there are these moments throughout this entire track where there's a pullback. And, you know, I've heard this multiple times now in this track, and it's like, well, why does it pull back the way that it does? It doesn't always just go nonstop. It actually has these moments of like, almost as if Gladius is sentient or something, and it like, wait, maybe I don't want to do this. Or, you know, usually when we pull back, those are due to like thought moments, especially music. There's like, it's pauses. So, I mean, maybe it could just be like exhaustion too. You know what I mean? Like maybe exerting, I don't know if you've ever played Monster Hunter, but maybe Gladius is like Rajang, and Rajang goes into Super Saiyan mode, but sometimes Gladius also needs to take a break because it uses up all its energy. It's like when Tigrex charges at you and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I'm tired. I just exhausted myself. It could also be that. Like there's almost like there's a timer or a you'll have to tell me and come back to this when the 3rd phase comes out, see how accurate I am just off of the music. But I find it really cool that there are these glimmers of space where there's less happening. So it's almost like it alternates between no, I gotta do it again. I have a duty to fulfill, right? And I think that's pretty dope. Ooh, that's so much fun. Da 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 da. First of all, you can hear the flames too. I don't want to stop. I'm stopping a ton, but hopefully it's enjoyable. But like, there's a flame thing that happens with the violin that's really, really cool. And then, you know, you can hear the swirling almost. Oh, I bet you it's flame tornadoes. I bet you it's flame tornadoes. And I think like they rip roar, they spin, and then it collects itself. And then this part's dope because this just feels like this call and da 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 ya da 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 da. Phase 3 really solidifies how good a piece this is. The other two phases, especially phase 1, it's a bit lacking if I'm honest with you, but phase 3 really comes together with this singular focus, which I think works incredibly well at telling the story of this hound that, you know, needs to, you know, protect its master and focus its energy, and it's consumed by its energy in a lot of ways. And so I think we actually, in classic Elden Ring / FromSoft fashion, actually think putting Gladius out of its misery is actually a service to Gladius, and we actually spare it a painful fate of constantly burning and being on fire. You know, obviously it's a type of hellhound, but I think that, you know, the Cerberus is also like what, a guardian of hell, isn't it? So I mean, like, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think the percussion in there, the snare especially, is absolutely divine. It's so meaty, so powerful, so engaging, and so incredible to listen to. Definitely, I think, a great setup for what I'm assuming the rest of these soundtracks are going to be like. So I'm very excited to listen to the rest of these. Feel free to check out the rest of the Night Rain stuff on the channel. There's tons of FromSoft here for you. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye. Cool track. Let me just do whoop so that we know when I edit. Okay. Adele is the second one. Adele I saw for all of 2 minutes and then I died. I was very impressed by Adele. Whoops. Yeah, I didn't really like that first phase. That first phase was all over the place. It was really, yeah, we almost had Adele beat, but I don't think I heard all of it. Is Adele the dragon with the mouth, sideways mouth? Yeah, we froze several times there, Senker. It was very annoying. Hi, Juan. Yeah, okay, so I've definitely listened to that. Mate, we'll get there. We'll get there. I've got all 8 in front of me. So, don't worry. No rush. Carson, you know I don't do that. You wait your turn. You know I have a flow. Was the better than Rolana? No. Rolana is a better, more even theme. How was the sound balance, by the way, guys? Was the sound okay? I turned up my Chrome. Could you hear me? Well, I didn't talk over the music, but could you hear the balance? Was the balance okay? It was good? Okay. All right, because I also was having a hard time hearing it on my end too. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, cool. One sec. I probably should. Scourge. I probably should. I actually think I should. This looks like it was also Soma Tanizaki. I probably should look at gameplay for the ones I haven't seen, huh? I think that might be a nice wrinkle to FromSoft, because I know that people were talking about that. But then how will I milk you for more content? How will I milk you when we do ranking videos, a ranking live stream, where then I have to listen to the rest and watch the rest? I'm just teasing. Just fucking around. Listen, FromSoft moments are very exciting for me. FromSoft has been a staple of this channel since the very beginning of its creation 3 years ago. So for me, I always take a lot of, I think someone got mad at me one time because I didn't do something and they were like, FromSoft made you. You're right. It kind of did. Did it make me? Or did I just do a good job? Anyway. What's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a professional opera singer turned YouTuber. Nope. Fuck. I really got to fix that intro because, all right, hold on. What's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a professional opera singer, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective after a decade on the stage. Although now I'm much more of a YouTuber. No, fucking shit. Oh. I can't be a former professional opera singer if I'm doing covers. Which I just heard the rendition of my Lawrence the First Vicar music. That's I have to. She's working on the music for me to then record. This shit's gonna sound so fucking good. Too much introduction. Do you want to do my job, Punisher? What do you mean too much introduction? Literally, I have a successful YouTube channel of 3 years. My introductions are completely fine. Come now. Come now. Stop with the nonsense. Stop with the nonsense. My intros are fine. You don't want this. What's everybody, my name? Yeah, you better be. I accept your apology. People get mad if I don't do an intro. I should time the intro? Sure, I'll do it. I guarantee you it's 10 seconds. I guarantee you. I know how to do intros these days. And I know when my intros fail because it goes like this. Let me time it, actually. Let me time it. I know I need to do the intro every time. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, what's up, everybody? Fuck. See, Punisher, look what you've done. Now I'm rushing. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer turned YouTuber, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective after a decade on the stage. Today, we're going to be checking out Adele, Baron of Night from Elden Ring Night Rain. I have seen this boss for all of 2 minutes. We almost had it beat, and then that was when I decided to put the game down. Excited to listen to this and the rest of Night Rain bosses here on this channel. So here we go. It's 20 seconds, bruh. Hey, Dust, what's up? Hey, Fate, what's up? 20 seconds. All right, here we go. Too short. This man is about to be banned. It could be 15. FromSoft community tries not to backseat challenge. Impossible. Except for Sekiro, apparently. Sekiro was incredible. I gotta get to 8 minutes so I can get my mid-roll ads, you know? No, just kidding. All right, here we go. So this is sick as hell. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. This is a deformity, right? This is a monster with a gaping jaw that hangs on its side. It's a totally an abnormal thing that we have not really seen in literature. Well, maybe we have. I'm just making that up. But the point is that like when we start, that intensity in that is because it's terrifying. It is not a normal thing to witness. It is literally a ferocious deformity of a dragon that wants us dead. And so starting off the bat with, it's visceral. It's scary. And what's really cool about it is the space in between. I think it would be less impactful if it was connected. But instead we get this in the first 9 seconds. Insane. Oh my God, dude, that is so amazing. Oh man, I love that. So first of all, again, let's listen to the fact that we have this lower bass instrument or the lower timpani. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we have thump, 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 thump. And then what's really cool is that we basically are getting a deformed version of the John Williams Jaws theme. Da-dum. This thing is out for blood. This thing wants you dead. This thing is hunting for you. Even though you are in its court, it is actually coming for you because it hates you with every ounce of its being. It almost feels like this thing is looking at you and it hates you and it doesn't want you around. It's I find it really interesting. Also, the idea of it being called the Baron of the Night, which is kind of, I don't know, maybe it would be crazy. I'm just going to spitball here. It'd be crazy if Adele Baron of Night was at one point a human, an actual baron of a castle or baron of an area, and then it became this deformity. Imagine the psychological implications of this thing being forced into being a Night Lord and being so deformed and well, I mean, really fucked up, like, right? Like that would be crazy to think about. And I think in this music, we're really leaning into A, the size of Adele, and then B, also the terror of Adele. And I love this last little corner right where I stopped, how good this sounds. Check this out. Slowing down. That's decay. That's really cool. The thing is just there's a sense of exhaustion in it too, I think, and a sense of like this thing is just messed up, and I appreciate how it's slow, it's heavy, it's sizable, and then also we have this really powerful just this, I mean, a decay in music is such a fascinating concept, fading out, it's so dope. Whoa, wait. I'm not sure what instrument that is, but that really sharp, reedy sound, almost like it's either like an oud or a oud or a pipa or something, but the sound quality in that is really, really alien almost. And what I like about that is that consistently we have this, it's actually cool because we have this pressing into, it could be bagpipes as well. Like it's really like, I think it does a great job of showcasing deformity more than anything. You know what I mean? It does a great job of showcasing just the disgusting nature of this character. Wow. Oh my God. Isn't that amazing? Listen to the doubling, the dum dum shum dum da 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 dum dum, right? Like you feel this like thum dum 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 da 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 dum dum dum. Again, the size, this huge gaping jaw, just shum shum. You know, like I love the emphasis there on how heavy-handed it is, both in its decrepitness, but also in its danger and that sense of like, you know, fear that it imposes, you know? Here, interestingly, we're much like Gladius. We're also getting a more pronounced syncopated triplet type of bum 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 bum. But what's interesting is how loud that is. That actually reminds me a little bit of Sekiro soundscape, where it's like almost bombastic, expansive sound without any real like necessarily center to it. Like there's no melodic focus in this. And you know what's interesting is that in a way it does end up kind of feeling a bit like noise because it's a very loud, wide, spacious approach to the musical landscape there. So, or the musical storytelling in a way. So it's kind of just violent. Now personally, I like things to have a little bit more of a through line emotionally, whereas this really is about width. It feels like to me, like the thing that comes to my mind is just size. And I don't mean size of Adele, like how it looks, but I mean like simply like it's epic and it's big. It doesn't necessarily have a focus, but maybe it doesn't need it. You know what I mean? Like it's very interesting how we can use music to sell us on emotions, sell us on scale, sell us on story, sell us on, move sets, sell us on, I already said lore. You know what I mean? So I find it really interesting how big this is, though. I mean, just as an aside, I think what's really powerful about this piece in particular, regardless of the size of it now, and it does have, again, I really like the doom cha doom da dum doom, but in the bass especially. Now, what I find most interesting to me is the upper register, and there's some really fascinating that pressing sound, whether it's a distorted violin, a pipa, whatever the hell the instrument is. What we're getting there is this real sharp press tonally, which is really, really, I think, very visceral and very, I mean, just generally very cool, isn't it? Because, and again, my job here is not to like explain the ins and outs of the mechanics or the technique or whatever, but my job is to like sort of highlight things that I find interesting so that you can then take that and be like, oh, I never even heard that. Or wow, if I isolate my ear, I actually feel like this is really cool. This is more interesting to me than I realized, whatever. Like that's really the goal here. We're just doing active listening. We're not necessarily trying to figure out chords and tonal structures because honestly, that's not interesting to me. And I find actually looking at and listening to music just so fun. And I just love that distortion up top. It's so visceral. And I love the pressing especially. Okay, phase 3. What? Wow, this is really interesting to me because I don't know that I'm a fan of that. Now, this is, well, but I kind of am. So this is interesting. So this deviates from, I mean, basically I've listened to probably, at least 100 plus Soulsborne tracks at this point, Bloodborne being my favorite. This is the most that it deviates. This distortion is very interesting. This distortion, it's almost like it strips away all the color from the map, right? And all you're left with is essentially like a demon staring at you, right? And so musically, that's interesting. It almost feels like, I'm filming this live in chat. Someone had mentioned the idea of a nuke. I mean, yeah, I suppose if you parse out every other sound and just have this distortion, that makes a lot of sense. One of the really interesting things in this is both this and Gladius that I've already filmed as well. The phase 3s are actually the most unified and the most doubled down on a lot of the sort of meandery bits that we hear in the previous parts of the track. So it's pretty interesting how both this and Gladius both really have a tonal cohesion that occurs in phase 3, where to me phase 3 is the most centered, grounded, and frankly most interesting. And so far that is staying the same. That is a consistent feeling I'm feeling. See, on the one hand, I really don't like it because it's like, whoa, this is totally different from FromSoft. But on the other hand, listening to the distortion, you know what it kind of feels like? Again, I'm just spitballing. I've not seen this phase. I don't even know if this phase is out yet. I just picture like a hand coming out of the mouth. I don't know why, but it just sounds so really messed up. I mean, it's fucked up, really, is where my brain goes. Like, I just, the worst possible thing you could possibly witness when fighting against something like this, it just happening. You know, I don't know what that is, whether it's, you know, we've seen comets being dropped. We've seen Radon turn into a fiery comet. You know, we've seen Mikola riding on top and possessing Promise Consort Radon. But, like, I mean, what's the worst version of that? And to me, it's Adele just, like, splitting into, you know, realistically, it'd be even crazier if Adele like suddenly like inverted on itself, and what you get is like a 2-footed, you know, man that was actually cosplaying as a freaking, you know, maybe the Baron's been in there the whole time and he's like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, holy crap, you know? You get that's so interesting. Now, I don't know, you know, that's a very definitive departure, but it's appropriate for what Night Rain is. Night Rain is a departure from everything we've ever considered or thought of when it comes to FromSoft's music. So in a way, it kind of feels fitting to me, and I'm not going to poo-poo on something that is experimental or different because the whole freaking game is different. But having electric guitar in there and really distortedly until that very last bit, I mean, the decay, the bleh, you know, that collapse is fascinating. Fascinating. You know, do I like that track? I like phase 1. I like phase 1, and I certainly like it more than Gladius on the whole, but it certainly left an impression while fighting the beast. After this, we're going to be diving into tracks I've never heard before, or I don't even know what the Night Lords look like, so I mean, it's all going to be just like spinning off my brain, but I'm really, you know, I'm impressed and curious about how we're going to continue to elaborate and expand on the FromSoft musical ideas and direction, because, you know, we have to evolve as well. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Thanks a ton. There's lots more FromSoft on the channel and lots more Night Rain on the channel to come and already. So thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye. So Noster's second. Yeah, hopefully you're having fun, guys. I really like filming these videos live. Hopefully it's enjoyable for you. You know, hopefully the things I'm saying are interesting. You know, it's always funny to go back and watch my previous videos. I actually feel like this is the most evolved form of my content, because in previous years, especially when Elden Ring had first come out, a lot of the stuff that I did was basically just like listening to it and then pausing once and then listening to it again. And somehow that was successful, but I mean, I really like stopping quite a bit. Because there's, I always feel like there's little stuff to pick up and stuff, you know? So, well, we're listening to it right now, Joe, so that's good. Shoei Miyazawa worked on Armored Core. I stop when I feel like I need to stop. I don't stop because I have to, which has always been very important to me. You're disappointed? With what? Hey, Capsalon, yeah, we did. Just have to get a thumbnail going and some timestamps. I'm going in order, so I blue ball you. I did this for what's it called too, Shadow of the Erdtree. And you all bit right into my trap. All the views doubled by the time I got to Consort Radon. See that? How does it compare to Battle Cats? Oof, tough to say. I didn't realize he was Kota's number 2. That's really cool. I'm just fucking around. I mean, I definitely did that, but I'm fucking around. Well, when I got my new PC, I think I played ZZZ I played Wua first. Yeah, I'm excited for Nine Souls here in a couple hours. Nosters by Tai Tomisawa. Okay, cool. Okay. I just need to take a mental break in between each because it can be a little bit exhausting from Gnosis meaning knowledge. Exactly. Yeah. I actually knew that. Sorry, one moment. Okay. Did you see how good Pokemon... It's Gnosis. Born Anew from FF13? Cool. If you could do me a solid and not overtly tell me what the character is, because now that I know that it's the moth, that will actually cause me to speak differently on it. So like just for the sake of keeping it raw and real, just something worth, if possible. It's okay if not. Did you guys see this? Look how clean this shit looks. Well, not this. This looks like ass because it's not on I don't know if any of you are Pokemon. I don't know how much crossover there is from fucking Night Rain to Pokemon, but I'm pretty impressed. Like, I'll actually play it now. I'm gonna split all these up and upload them as separate videos. Like, it's still like a little bit of the textures are really like, this still is like super kind of weird, but in general, the fact that it even just functionally runs and it doesn't have that like chop thing, it's pretty cool. If I were to get one, should I get Pokemon Scarlet or Violet? That's on the Switch too, yeah. Violet? What do I prefer, the future or the past? The future. I like Kaiju. Fuck, so I just contradicted myself. Do I like dinosaurs? I like dinosaurs more than robots. Scarlet. Okay, word. I'm just taking a mental break. Sorry. Oh. Hello. Do you guys want to see my dog? Luna, come here. Go up. Go up. What are you doing? How's your day? Luna, are you a Pokemon too? What game are you playing that you started? Luna. Luna, say hello. Luna, speak. There you go. Speak. Good girl. Okay, I said once. Okay, go. Toby, be good. Bye, Luna. She's just waiting for a snack, to be honest. That's a good idea. All right, let's do, I think I'm ready. Noster, Wisdom of the Night. Tai Tomisawa. Gnosis. Gnosis means knowledge. Wisdom of Night. Okay. Did Luna come in and announce that she pooped? Yes. Oh, Forgive Me, Father is very good. Yes, it's very nice. I actually prefer it to Doom. All right. Wisdom of Night. What that dog doing? All right. Man, I haven't done a 10 video film in a long time. I used to do this every day. Would you believe it? I used to do 10 videos every day. And no one complained about the quality. You know, some folks in a particular community have gone on in the internet and said that my videos have gotten worse. And I'm like, bitch, that ain't true. Because I used to do 10 a day. If anything, you've gotten worse as a person, probably. You probably just outgrown me, which is inevitable. That's why we keep on the hustle. We got new folks coming in. You know? Okay. Okay, I've never seen this, so this is a reaction. I've never All right, so I need to beat 20 minutes in order for Punisher to be happy with my introduction, so hold on. Thanks, you done. How many have I heard? Just the ones I just did. So this is all new. I know reactions matter to people, so unfortunately I don't get to play a lot of games at first because all right, ready? Hey, what's up everybody? God fuck. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer turned YouTuber, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective after a decade on the stage. Today we're checking out Noster, Wisdom of Night from Night Rain. Here we go. 16 seconds. So this is this is most certainly the moth. Not because chat told me earlier, but also because you actually hear it in the music. So first of all, this is very ethereal. Now, is this moth like Mothra? Does it look like Mothra from Godzilla? I think it must, because there's an ethereal quality to it. So listen to this. You hear that? That is the dead giveaway of the bugness of this character. That little like creepy crawly wiggles on your, like with the tick that was crawling up my ear the other day during a live stream. That is how you can tell that it's an insect. Number one. Number two, we have this real ethereal. It reminds me very much of the butterfly from Dark Souls 1. Same style of music. Da, da, ya, da, ya, da. You know, you really feel like it's almost like you don't want to put it down. You don't want to kill this thing. It's like, whoa. Look at that thing in the distance. You know what I mean? Like there's a sense of wonderment that comes with that ethereal music. I'm curious to see where this goes. I love the doubling there. That's so nice. And then it repeats actually in the harp in the lower register, you know, in the lower part of the harp. Boom, 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 boom. Nice doubling there too. It's really pretty. I mean, again, like there's well, I'll hold my thoughts. Nice doubling. You have this beautiful, it's really giving me major regal ancestor spirit vibes, a little bit more direction than that piece, which felt much more like spaced out and amorphous. This has more of a sense of direction in it, especially with that sort of cascading. I also think that's really cool is that you can sort of feel the like flutter of the moth. Like you get that thing in there. It's really beautiful. But then you have this sudden change, which is like, hey, by the way, this thing's not actually great. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny how the music shifts big time here. Check this out. There's a ton of accidentals there. It basically is a mirror of that previous thing, but it goes up and it has a little bit of like a twang of sharpness to it. That's like, oh, that's not good. Stacking. You know, it's interesting because it has a Celtic vibe to it. Obviously it's totally mystical. Obviously it's totally, it's really, I hesitate to say reverie, like a sense of joy. But what I would tell you is that, of the Night Rain tracks, but certainly of many, many other FromSoft tracks, and especially Elden Ring tracks, there's more of a sense of melodic direction in this that I'm actually kind of surprised to hear. The Elden Ring tracks in general lack a little bit of motivic movement. And in this particular one, we actually get real glimpses of repeating patterns. Obviously there's tons of doubling and stacking and building on itself and expanding, but there's still that sort of like nebulousness of it that I find interesting. For a moment there, I felt like we were really going to go into like a song proper rather than this sort of... I feel like a lot of the Night Rain tracks I've listened to have been fairly cacophonous. This one's dialed back, but it still has that sort of quality of musical spaciousness, if I make sense. Hopefully I make sense. And this is similar to that, but it has much more of an intention and a direction, which is nice to listen to. Oh, phase 2. Wow. I mean, this is interesting. This is the most positive track. And now I said this actually about the there was another track I listened to that was like this, but this is by far the most positive track I've heard in a FromSoft game. More so than the one where you're in that big fight in Shadow of the Air Tree. I can't remember, but the name, you know the one I'm talking about. What I find really interesting about this is that this is incredible. It's like bright. There's a bunch of color on the screen. There's almost the sense of, again, there's a sense of wonder and majesty. This is not, the Night Lords, in theory, in our brains would probably be these arch rival nemeses that we have to fight, but actually, this is actually a beautiful, beautiful being that you really do feel a sense of sadness that you have to kill it, because it's only defending itself in a way. It's a harmless thing that doesn't want to fight you. Honestly, to me, this music is incredibly, almost jovial, almost friendly, almost like, hey, you can ride on my back and I'll take you to a faraway land where I will protect you. There's almost like if we weren't in the given circumstance of what needs to be done in order to like advance or take care of whatever, it actually would be a companion. It's incredibly bright. It's incredibly enthusiastic, and well, it doesn't really provide a sense of danger, does it? It really provides a sense of warmth, more so than Regal Ancestor Spirit, which Regal Ancestor Spirit was much more ambient and amorphous, whereas like almost like looking at this majestic thing in the distance. This is really like, oh, I wanted to be your friend. I wish that I wanted to be aligned with you. I'm disappointed that we have to fight. Oh, but it's okay. It really feels like more of a fairy, more of a nymph, a positive thing, which is really interesting, especially in the violins, more predominantly than the rest, I mean, especially there. I mean, especially like the little accents with flutes and all that other stuff, especially with the bright upper register, tends to naturally lend itself to this feeling of bliss, this feeling of beauty. It's not a nemesis. It's not a villain. I find that very interesting. Wow. There were two moments in there with the lower brass and then with the violins here just around this last like maybe 10 seconds that really were really majestic and really, really lovely and warm and vibrant. And it's almost like, why are we fighting this thing? Like the question really becomes like, this thing is beautiful. Like what is the purpose of this? Like why is this a Night Lord? Like it doesn't seem to fit within the the confines of the of the stress. You know what I mean? Like you really do feel a sense of sadness for this. Sustained soprano. Yeah, that's very interesting. We actually see the death of the Noster, the death of the moth in this particular case. That to me feels like we're actually watching it writhe in pain and agony, as it's almost like it's as if it's possessed or impaled or replaced by something else. There's a quality in the sound of the majesty being ripped away, its wings being torn off. It is no longer. It's almost like it becomes deformed, but not in the same way that Adele is, where it's much more violent and ruthless. This is really like almost somber and sad, and we have to move as fast as possible to take care of this because it's actually tragic. It's much more of a tragic piece, isn't it? In this particular section here, the distortion as well, I think, indicates that. And there's a quality in there of replacement. Yeah, like right there. Bop, ya, pia. That is a sound of tension, especially with the brass. So you got like trombones and trumpets in there. And that's where I sort of come to because they're lower in the sound, a lot of this piece has been really string dominant. And obviously there's been a lot of brighter woodwinds, like flutes and clarinets, and mostly flutes, a little bit of flute accentation and stuff. But really it's this part where it's like, oh my God, like we got to hurry up. Like we got to take care of this. This is not good. Whatever it is, it's almost like it's possessed or something, like something shifts in it hard. Yeah, I'm still looking for a bit of cohesion from the Night Rain tracks. This was the one that felt most unified and most cohesive. There's a lot of like what I feel to be almost not an excessive amount of movement, but there's a movement that feels a bit disorganized. And I think this track was probably my favorite of the ones that I've listened to thus far. But I definitely feel like this one really told a story musically, and who knows what's right. Well, besides you who have played it, I haven't played this far, but it does feel like almost like the thing is like on fire, or it suddenly becomes enraged, and it's almost like, again, a mercy killing, if you will. I mean, it's a beautiful track. It definitely feels like an upgrade from the Regal Ancestor Spirit, which we all know and love. And I think like this track is really just does a great job of showcasing like I said, characterization. So yeah, thanks a ton. And there's lots more Night Rain on the channel, more to come, more FromSoft on the channel, hundreds of videos almost. Probably not true. Whatever. Talk to you later. Bye. I hate that intro. Let me finish that. Anyway, yeah, there's lots more FromSoft on the channel. More Night Rain to come if there isn't already. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye. Okay. What's up? Astel's definitely more cosmic. What's next? Fulgur? Maris? Hellstor? Libra? Or Caligo's last, so we'll do that last. You can spoil the moth now, yes. Yes, please, actually. Actually, yeah, let's yes, please. Maris. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. So it appears as something, but it actually is something else. It's a moth and a kind of scorpion thing, a magic moth and a big brawler bug. Oh, God. Fuck, that sounds terrible. Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful fight, for sure. Or at least it sounds beautiful. Mind controlling a lobster. Oh my God. Okay. Oh. Taking a mental break. Taking a mental break. Ooh, trailer for Wicked, the second part of Wicked coming tomorrow. That's nice. Okay. I still can't believe that Witcher demo was off of a base PS5. That's crazy. Like, this is nuts. 60 FPS with ray tracing on a standard PS5. I know it's easy to get marred by, like, being frustrated by the games industry and especially AAA, but I also can't help but feel excited about stuff. Call it naive, but to me, that's like what it's all about, you know, being excited. Wow. This is so beautiful. Just love how it looks. Witcher 3 still looked great. I don't know. I had no problems with that. All right. Let's see. Hunger Terminus. I don't even know what that is. All right. Maris. All right. Oh, I forgot I have to do that too. I have to also listen to Urelli. All right, this won't be FromSoft all in a row, by the way. Just FYI. It will be, I have other things I need to also film, so. Okay, Maris. It helps me to space out stuff. So I'll do it all in a row, but I'll space it in between things so that my ears don't get burnt. Otherwise I get a little burnt out. So I have to space it. And since we're not doing like, these are all individual videos, just because Night Rain is, you know, FromSoft is a staple on the channel. So I tend to, when there's things are staples, I tend to do them a lot. So, okay. Maris. Hey, what's up? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer and now turned YouTuber. I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective after a decade on the stage. Today we're going to be checking out Maris Fathom of Night from Elden Ring Night Rain. Here we go. You know, I see a broken woman. When I hear this music, I see someone betrayed. I haven't seen this boss. This is like just me. I see someone. I almost see like a ghostly spirit. I see something absolutely just broken. You know, just the sound. There's a bit of deformity in it. I see like a scythe or, you know, a twirling movement. It's not dissimilar to, I was fighting Dancer of the Boreal Valley way too early yesterday while playing Dark Souls 3 for fun. And it reminds me a bit of that, but much, much, much more devastating and scary. And like there's just a quality in that, especially with the piano, where it is in the piano, and also that distorted upper register. I can't actually pick out what instrument that is. It might be fine. I can't. I'll have to re-listen. But you just get the sense of floating, and the sense of almost like tears. Dissonance. Yeah, to me, this is notice that we have the repetitive motion the whole time. Bum, bum, bum. what we end up having is this constant feeling of death and dirge. It's a funeral march, isn't it? It sounds like one anyway. Wow. Yada, yada. I have this imagery of this, especially with the way that we use these different instruments. We have some sliding happening, and again, the constant is that rhythmic identity that I pointed out just last time I stopped. One of the things in here that I really get is like almost like lifting a finger and pointing at you and saying you know, like there's this real like anger, but in a deeply broken place. I really just picture a single person. I don't imagine something very big. I don't imagine any. I just imagine, like, again, this is the power of music. I don't really care if I'm right or wrong. Context matters, of course, but if we're just listening, like, to me, I just see like a white veiled woman, and almost like as if like these things come out of her. Maybe like the character, maybe like, you know, Judith Gunther and or those random you know, zombies in what's it called? Like the black, like that's what I'm imagining. You know, comes out, retreats very quickly. Like the attacks are fast. You kind of can't really see them. I don't know if I'm right. It doesn't really matter, but it's just so evocative and really painful. And all the little accents feel like they're like bursts of attack, which is really cool. It's so disturbing. The violin is doing such terrific heavy lifting there. And again, it really just feels, you know, there's also this beautiful swelling that occurs. All those things are alluding to, you know, the just the malaise, the disturbing quality of the track. Phase 2. I really appreciate that this track has a natural buildup, but it doesn't just go from like the peaceful thing to bombast. I think this is definitely the track that I've listened to so far that is the most unified and the most like even keeled, and the one that is most well composed and most well structured. To me, this feels like a river of blood, or like blood coming out of the eyes and engulfing the map with like fountains of blood, or rivers of blood. Like there's something about this, or like a like rain. It's really just somber. It is not violent. It is not bombastic. It is not raw. It's very, very emotional and very charged with sadness and laden with this overwhelming sense of needing to release that. It's not mystical. It's very human and very, and I don't know, it's really fascinating. Like I would wonder what this character actually looks like, because the music itself sounds very, very, very just emotional, and it just makes you want to cry. There's tears in it almost, which is just so, I think, extremely evocative, with a little bit of like, something's not quite right here, but we don't necessarily understand why, but it's definitely like, what is happening? You know what I mean? I enjoyed phase 2 there. Like whale sounds. Oh, easily the best track in the game so far. Easily the best track. I think there, to me, like, first of all, again, when I speak on cohesion, that has it in spades. Boom, pop, pop, yada, do, boom, pop, pop, yada, do. We have that constant rhythmic movement, and then we have the strings. We have that same, the pattern just unifies itself. This to me feels like Starfire. It feels like levitation. It feels like lifting up off the ground and just summoning like a hail of you know, asteroids or well, stars or comets, or there's a sort of metaphysical thing there. I also found that there's ever so slight experimental stuff happening here, which is really cool, especially that whale sound. It almost feels like a cry, a release, like almost like the emotion gets too much to bottle up and it just kind of comes out, but it comes out in this like, you know, sort of explosive sort of, you know, almost like a black hole type of way. It's very evocative and just incredibly powerful. You know, I really want to, I was going to save this for a different thing, but I really want to see this of all of them. I really want to see what Maris looks like. So let's check it out. Oh shit. It's interesting how, you know, in the end, that really has this balance of, obviously it's not humanoid at all, so whatever, but like, you know, the sort of celestial mixed in with the water element there with that whale sound sort of feels appropriate for like a giant freaking jellyfish. That's really cool. I'm very impressed by that. And that was Shirako there fighting with their team. So yeah, thanks a ton. I mean, what gorgeous music, really. It's so ethereal. Thanks a ton. There's lots of Night Rain on the channel, more FromSoft on the channel as well. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye. That's beautiful. I would not want to do that. Oh, wow. We're making great time. Let's check out Libra. I think Libra is next, right? Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective. Today, we're going to be checking out Libra, Creature of Night from the Elden Ring Night Rain OST. Now, if I recall correctly, based on when I looked up all the Night Lords in the game, I'm pretty sure this is the goat-looking one. I'm assuming Libra has some sort of relation to, man, I don't know, maybe the Zodiac? No idea. Let's take a listen. Oh, shit. Dude, this is so good. I think this is definitely by far my favorite track in the Night Rain soundtrack. This is disorganized, but so organized. This is disorganized chaos. It is so clean. I love the this is such a new sound for FromSoft. I've never heard this is like a mix of Sekiro combined with Elden Ring, combined with there's an Indian sound quality in it to my ear. There's this like really powerful chant that's occurring. There's this really strong like drum that's occurring as well. You hear that sort of like the way that the drum is hitting in the lower register. It's the charging sound. This is a goat man, I'm pretty sure. So like this has like a deformed human, very vengeful sound. It's so powerful. It's terrifying. It's so good at creating a feeling of like, holy crap, like this is actually bad. The situation here is really not good, and you feel this sense of dread because it's like, it's sentient. I mean, it's like so aware of your existence, and it just wants you out of the picture. And so you feel it look at you and be like, and like lunge, whatever it is. Maybe let's say it has a giant greatsword or something. It lunges at you or charges, lowers its horns at you, and like it goes to stab. Like there's a viscerality in that piece that is so otherworldly. It's unnatural almost. It's almost a deification. There's almost like a reverence for this thing, but it's like almost like it's the god of war or something, you know? Very visceral and my God, that's really intense. That is such a unique soundscape from FromSoft, and that's exciting. That's so cool. Like there's so much going on in here. You get the boom, a little bit of chant. It reminds me of the Buddhist temple, Senpo temple from Sekiro. I also love the heavy use of just the real natural percussion sound in there. Oh man, that is insanely good. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of of double throated. So maybe Indian wasn't right, but there's definitely like a use of instrumentation that allows it to feel, to a Western audience, it sounds, foreign or otherworldly, what have you. Like there's also a slight bit of almost sounds like a double vocal fold. Throat singing there at the end. Maybe, this is really interesting. Huh. like this is just circling around, like bum 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 bum. It's just spinning around you. It's looking at, like, in my mind, this thing is looking directly in the character's eyes, right? And it's like getting ready, like it's like a minotaur, right? But more vicious, if that makes sense. Ba-da-dee-da-da-da, boom, ba-da-dee-da-da. It's just it's a delight for Libra. You know what I mean? Like Libra like gets off on this. Like it's almost like yeah. You know, it's like come on. Like there's this like real, but it's like focused. It's not actually that outward. It's very like I live for battle. It feels very gladiatorial actually. It's so like oh my god, it's like it wants to rip off its armor and throw it at your face and be like, what the fuck are you gonna do, motherfucker? You know what I mean? It's like oh man, that's so visceral. It's so cool. And then the chant, yeah. Increase in tempo. Oh my god, that's so cool. So, and then in here too, you're also getting like an anvil sound, which by the way, opera plug, in Il Trovatore by Giuseppe Verdi, you literally have the anvil chorus. You've heard it. And they're literally like a bunch of dudes on the chorus just hitting anvils with hammers. It's so good. So this, I love when we get like non-traditional instruments in there. So much fun. But the build up here, it's like the smoke coming out the nose. Like there's just like this sense of like blood red lust for violence. Wow, what a sick fucking track. This sick is awesome. And this is like kind of messed up. Oh my god. Dude, so you have the throat singing, and then you also get the bum, 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 bum. I love the hitting. Oh my god, listen to how cool that is. Right here. Bum, bum, bum. Oh my god, that's so cool. I love this. It's a mallet instrument, but it's ever so slightly out of tune. I mean, it's like not really like within the same tonal structure, but it's just so very much like a little bit uncomfortable. Oh man. And then the slowdown for phase 3. Oh my god, whispers. Oh my god. I just imagine like on all fours, right? I don't know what Libra is on two hands and like it has hands or whatever, but imagine it just like, let's say it's like, again, just go with me here. I don't know what it looks like. Let's say it's like a minotaur, right? Like a goat man, right? Let's say it says fuck this human part, and it become like it gets down on all fours and you just like starts charging towards you, like just with like blood in its eyes, bright red, just like, you know what I mean? Like there's such like a animalistic quality in the sound that is so cool. It like throws humanity out the window, and it just like, it wants you bad. And I just love the animalism in this. It's so visceral. It's so cool. Oh my god. Bow, bow. Speed up. Hey, wait. Isn't that the violin that plays in Midra's track? There's something about that. Ba-da-da-da. So it's interesting because in Midra's track, wait, what if this is one of the followers of the order, whatever the hell, Midra of the frenzied flame, and like they've gone through some sort of like mutilation. I just love this. None of this is right, but like just for the sake of it, just like this is you should do this. If you ever just feel it, like the best part about this is that you watching this have probably already seen the context of this, but like imagine just taking yourself out of it and be like, let me listen to music in a little bit of a different way. None of this is correct. But what's cool is that that's the power of music, baby. You don't need any of this stuff. You can create your own fantastic sense of like, what the hell were people doing when they went to the symphony hall and they had to listen to Bach or Beethoven? What are they going to do? Just like, nice music. No, the idea is to create pictures. The idea is to connect your mind's eye to what you hear. And who gives a shit if you're right or wrong? Right or wrong in music really doesn't exist. Like, now, context is right versus my imaginary context, which is probably wrong in that, in binary. But like in general, like the cool thing about music is that this all like is just whatever. And so anyway, so all that to say, like off my soapbox, the violin mixed in with the chorus there, they come to da da ya da 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 da. That's awesome. Because what we get is we get it first with the violin, and then, or whatever that instrument is, and then we double it down. We double down on it with the vocals, and so that actually raises it up. But again, this is just like absolute psychosis. It's amazing. Just that's a tornado. Oh my god. And then we pull back. Oh, dude. I adore that. That may be one of FromSoft's best tracks. Who composed this? This was composed by, I don't know, it doesn't say. Damn, that is so freaking cool. That is just awesome stuff. Like, it just mixes all these different things that we know. We got some Western, we got some Eastern, we have like musical violence. I love musical violence, you know, within reason. Like, oh man, I loved that so much. Oh, that was so cool. I got to see what this thing looks like. Hold on. The fuck?
Make your choice. It is done. The time is right.
Oh! Oh! Oh my god, that's so freaking cool. Hold on, I need to see. Oh my god. Yeah, you can like totally see like the rage and the obviously there's precision in the movement and stuff, but like it's amazing how the music it's actually much more like controlled and self-control based on what I'm seeing here, but like that is so visceral and so intense. It's crazy. Wow. I love wow, that's awesome. That was definitely one of my favorite tracks I've ever heard in a FromSoft soundtrack ever. Insanely good stuff. There's lots more Night Rain on the channel. There's lots more FromSoft on the channel. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye. I missed the part. What? There's a part where he loses control? Oh shit. Okay, hold on. It's in the start? Go back a bit. At the beginning? Oh! That's awesome. That's so cool. That's awesome. I don't like watching the whole fight because it's not my video. So I try to limit how much I watch of a fight, which is why it may seem like I'm skipping around or whatever. It's not because I'm disinterested, but that's so cool. Oh my god. That's awesome. I would hate to fight that thing. Folger's next? Okay. Hey, I'm doing well, thanks. How are you? No, Caligo's last. Look at this. Look. Hey, I gotta show you a leak. I know I shouldn't do this. But I feel like it's my responsibility to show you something that I just got access to that you may not have seen. It's happening. Jason Bloodborne is my favorite. I can't wait for that one to come out. Jason Bloodborne. Bloodborne card, to be fair, used to be a thing. Yeah, I know. Who knew? It'd be funny if it wasn't so sad. I was playing Bloodborne the other day, trying to figure out what the fuck to do after Bloodstar Beast, which apparently I just completely forgot about. And I was like, man, how could they do this? How could they do this? You know, like of all, like, why would you do this? How can you not? Like, what the fuck? It's like sitting right there. Like, how do you not do it? How do you not do it? Like, it just doesn't even make sense from a business perspective. How the fuck do you not do it? I don't know. I mean, man. I mean, I know that you guys are probably right, but at the same time, like, I don't like the optimistic part of me, you know, the part of me that like wants to believe is just that there's just some issue, you know, there's gotta be some issue. That's the only thing I can conceivably think of. Like, there has to be some issue. I want to have a positive outlook on it. Like, I don't want it to just be like, well, Sony sucks, which is fair. Listen, Sony to this day has one of the worst return. Well, there is no return policy. There's got a legal issue. There's got to be, you know, I sorry, I don't want to pander too negative because I'm a very optimistic guy. So like, you know, if you're here, you got to be a little bit on board with that because that's, you know, that's my sort of view on things. You know, I would hate to believe that it's just because of suits and money. God, like Like, I know you're probably right, but I just don't want to believe it. You know? Like, like, it just seems strange. It just seems so strange. It's just so strange. Oh, it's in. Yeah, I heard that it was in a legal battle with the city of London for looking too much like it. A former employee said that Sony wants to do a remake, but Miyazaki wants to do it himself. He doesn't want his game to be ruined by other companies. Huh. I mean, yeah, that's fair. There are a lot of great IPs that just go away, that never come back. But I mean, like, I guess, do we know what the sales number was? It just seems odd. Regardless of sales, I mean, if the source code is indeed lost, then that's a different discussion, right? But if it's sales, the clamoring for Bloodborne seems pretty big. It's all hearsay. All of it's hearsay. You know, like, surely Sony, you know, I think suits and execs and CEOs can be out of touch. But there are so many other people that are involved in the machine that is these, you know, Sony especially. Like, they know that people want it. 18th most sold game for PS4 with 7.6 billion? You mean million? I think you mean million. You mean million. 7.6 billion? There's a PC mod. That's right. Yeah, I was about to say, damn, they would not be falling asleep if it was billion. Yeah, I mean, 7.8, it ain't nothing. It's certainly not a ton, but I mean, it's still a shit ton. 7.46. Yeah, so I mean, like, we can definitely say that people are out of touch, because I agree with that. People are definitely out of touch. But I mean, there's enough people on Twitter that run marketing and you know, the different PR departments of Sony that, like, no one is I think people are definitely aware. I mean, but exactly, like, just unlock the frame rate. I mean, I guess it must be difficult to do. I don't know. I don't know the first thing about it. Will I play Night Rain? No, I tried over the weekend. I really don't like it, personally. But you know, all that to be said, like, I mean, even just unlocking the frame rate, fuck updating the graphics. I don't even care anymore. But that thing chugs along, and man, it chugs. It's like, it's noticeable at this point. You know, it's I appreciate what Night Rain does, but I'm definitely not a fan of it. Right, exactly. So, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Like, obviously the state of play is tomorrow. You know. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking a break. This poor guy is Bloodborne on PC. Oh man, that's funny. I wish, you know, for Deltarune, I wish that it was a little bit less shitty, because I really want to start a hop on Deltarune, but the copyright situation really sucks. Of course, yes. Cold Steel Coffin is very good. They made mantling better? Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. It's coming out on, what, the same day as the Switch 2, right? Yeah, because it's the Switch 2. I bet you Silksong releases this week, too. I bet you Silksong. Oh, coming out tomorrow? I think Silksong drops Friday. Or maybe next week. Well, maybe next week. I think we see a full trailer for Silksong at the Xbox Showcase or Summer Game Fest, probably. State of Play is tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST. Here, I'll show you. You can see the Elden Ring gets new content, and Duskbloods is not. When does Duskbloods come out? I actually don't know. State of Play Wednesday, tomorrow, June 4th. 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. Oh, next year. Okay. I'm excited for Duskbloods. I really like extraction shooters. So for me, that seems like a formula that I'll be happy with. I just need to live. So we'll watch this tomorrow. Hello, Niraj. It is a Switch 2 exclusive. Sorry to say. Okay. That was all Shoei Miyazawa. That makes sense. Okay. Is my brain on? Okay, let's do Fulgur. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock. Oh man, I need to do these 3 other videos too. I just want to do all the Night Rain stuff so that I can just like drip it over the next week. And then I really want to do the Genshin Honkai Star Rail and then the Warframe stuff too. I don't know that I'll be able to do that mentally today though. Ooh. Oh, thank you. I love the shirt. Fulgur will make back my energy. I'm resting. I'm just taking a moment because it's hard to do, 8 in a row. Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer turned YouTuber, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective. Today, we're checking out Fulgur, Champion of Nightglow from Elden Ring Night Rain. Here we go. Oh, that's so cool. First of all, great track. I mean, I love how bombastic it is. To me, it really feels like, now I'm not being ironic, but this feels like a knight. This feels like a very poised, focused, whether he's on horseback or not, I don't know, but there's an elegance in the sound, but also it's very smooth, right? Even though it's very sharp and very rhythmic, there's also a smoothness to it. Definitely feels like a very poised being. And one of the cool things, the reason why I stopped is because we have all this noise. And then right here we have this dialed back feeling with the a cappella, basically. There's some supporting underneath, but the male choir has been in this the whole time, which is very dominant, very masculine, very, strong, energetic, real quality in that of presence, of power, of again, like I said, poise. But I really love how we pull back and we do this, which is why I stopped. Like that to me scream ba 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 dee dum bum bum ba ba da dum bum bum. That really screams like, what are you going to try now? There's a confidence. He's cocky. There's almost a sense of like, this doesn't feel desperate. It doesn't feel mystical. It doesn't feel any of the things that I've heard in previous of Night Rain tracks. This is very much elegance, but also the ability to cut you down very, very, very efficiently. Love that heavy brass. Oh my. Dude, that's so full. Oh my God, that's so cool. I love how I mean, it's just so visceral. It's just like a rhythmic field day. My God, that's so cool. Listen. I love that part. I mean, so it has that bam bam bam, and then it goes. I love that rhythmic movement. Oh my God, that's so cool. Yeah. And that works so well because we have this really sharp rhythmic thing, and then we pull back and we end up having a legato. So actually, in some ways, characterization-wise, it kind of feels like there's a a balance there. There's the rhythmic sharpness and there's the smooth fluidity. And you have to wonder to yourself, is that because of the moveset? Is it because of the lore? Is it because there's two personalities in one? Is it because this is a balance of rage and smooth, like rage and like almost like an internal struggle? Like what's the implication there? And it's so cool how musically we can have these gorgeous and effective back and forths between strong, not harsh, but strong, very pronounced rhythms, coupled with then moving into the smoothness and it's like peanut butter and jelly. It just like works so well together. If you've ever had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, then I don't know what to tell you, but they work well together. Phase 2. The guys go up to go. Love that. Love how smooth that is. It's interesting. On the one hand, the track is fairly one-dimensional in the sense that like we don't have a ton of change, right? Like Fulgur is Fulgur like throughout this entire piece. But what I find interesting is that there's this moment of hesitation where there's a slight change where we pull back and the strings are pulled forward. The men almost disappear, almost as if, again, let's say Fulgur is human or has humanity within itself, like in him. It's almost like that humanity gets snuffed out, and almost like there's an internal battle within Fulgur to then, like he's losing himself to madness maybe. And in this moment, there's this pullback where it almost gets quiet. Can't really, and then suddenly, I'm not going to give up. So it's actually, even though we're fighting him, it almost feels like there's an internal fight within himself, right? And the sharpness of the rhythm is almost his responsibilities, his duty. I think one of the hard parts about the Night Rain bosses is that because they're so individualized, well, I do think that their character themes are really cool to listen to, and I think that there is some stuff you can extrapolate lore-wise. They feel very insular to their specific circumstance, so they lack a tiny bit of three-dimensionality. Now, I don't know if there's an expansion on lore that we'll be able to understand better some of these characters. Maybe there already is, but just on my listenings, all I can really do is like think about what the music makes me feel and how I'm connecting to the sound, and also what some of the compositional structuring that's going on, what that actually means. It's a bit of guesswork, but I think it's really cool that, like, why have the pullback there? Was it just because it sounded good and we needed a break, or is it because Fulgur is literally within an inch of his own sanity? And he's losing himself and drowning in his own consciousness, and then all of a sudden he bursts forward with some thrust, mentally and physically, that kind of plants him back in. It's very cool. I mean, it's like such a sick, rhythmically intentioned track. It's very satisfying to listen to. I love that. I just love it because in the upper register and the tenors there's really this declaiming, this pronouncing, this it's a real, and that's another giveaway that this feels much more like, you know, to me, it feels much more like an outward expression of something, because the tenors are up in the upper register and the baritones are really pointedly almost shouting rather than singing that whatever the text is, like that sort of emphatic. They're really letting us know, like, yo, this is, you know what I mean? Like, I'm losing myself. You know what I sort of picture? I sort of picture Artorias, and I don't know why, but especially here with the bomb. Isn't that? Wait, don't the chimes represent Abyss Watchers? Like, there's something there that, like, really, like, at this point, like, the consumption has taken over, and at this point, it's almost like he's possessed, or it's possessed by something else, and the chime there really is like the death bell, and you notice how, like, it also gets a bit wider with the orchestration, and we still keep the male choral sound, which I think does represent Fulgur at its core, but the chant, or I'm sorry, the strings and the bell tolling, I think, are the new element that really represents sort of being drowned in something. It's so cool. Wow. Wow, cool. I also really like how in this third phase we actually also add the sopranos, which means to me, like, the power is doubled. To me, it feels like this is really like, well, I mean, most phase 3s are going to be like that anyway. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to think that phase 3 is going to be harder, but there's something about this particular phase where it feels like the loss of control and the sort of, again, the musical violence was still elegant, but it loses the sense of control, and it becomes fuller and richer, and has more range to it. So I think, to me, like, it's like almost like the size of the sword grows, or you know, something related to that, where there's an increase in it's just a loss of control, but still maintains its elegant structure, which is really interesting. Super sharp rhythmically, really, really fun fight to listen to. Let's check it out. I'm at this point, I'm so intrigued with seeing what these characters look like. Fulgur champion of Nightglow. Whoa. Wait a second. No arm. Scarlet Rot? Red Helm? Oh my god. Whoa! Wow, that's absolutely crazy. I mean, you do get the sense of that fallen knight, and I wonder what the implications are with that arm as well. Like, maybe there's something correlated to that within the lore of this character, where, you know, maybe he was, you know, the powerful centaur, like the head of his people or something, and then something happens to him, and he becomes a corrupted version of himself. I mean, it's really, really interesting there. Really powerful piece of music too. Definitely another one of my favorites from the Night Rain soundtrack. There's lots more FromSoft on the channel and more Night Rain, of course, to come, if not already all here. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye. Wow. That's crazy. That is intense. Oops, sorry. That's something else. Cool. Cool. All right. So now it's Caligo or Hellstore. I guess Hellstore is the last one. Okay. Caligo. Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer, and I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective. Today, we're checking out Caligo Miasma of Miasma? Caligo Miasma of Night. I'm assuming this is that big ice dragon thing, but let's listen to it. That's interesting. So, I mean, even this as well, it reminds me a bit of Gnosis in the sense that, Nostia, I forget, the moth. There's an elegance within the piano that I think, now I've seen a picture of this. It was in the trailer. So, I mean, I sort of like kind of know what I'm looking at here, but there's elegance and grace within that piano that I think really delivers on itself. Plus the mysticism in the chorus, number one. Number two, one of the things that's really cool to me is the fact that we represent ice, snow, wind, whatever, with the piano. The piano represents those things, and even though it's in the lower middle range of the keyboard, it still will linger on that idea of like ice shards or majestic, huge wingspan, that kind of stuff, which is really cool. It's so interesting to me to hear essentially like of a cinematic piano piece in a FromSoft. Like that's not, I don't think I've ever heard that. I don't even think I've ever heard piano, and I'm trying to think. Like it's so elegant, and and clearly very sad. I mean, it's just a tragic piece, and it feels like losing everything and feeling like giving up and not knowing where to turn anymore. There is, of course, there's still like, you know, the upper register piano still showcases throwing you know, the icicles and ice attacks and iced dust and snowy wind and shit. But like in general, like what we end up getting is just this broken piece of like, I've lost everything. Yada 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 yada. Like, it's weird because it's not really about us at all. It just feels like we've just given up on everything. I mean, it's got similar sensations to Garamond the First Hunter, where, you know, it feels like our brain house, whatever, is on fire and we have nothing left. And we, you know, where do we even go? You know, it's lost. It really just feels like lost to me. Oh, Gwyn had piano, obviously, of course. And I think really at phase 2 there, I mean, I think like it's the dying gasps of like the last of its kind almost. Like it's done through, you know, acceptance and heroicism and you know, it's like, I know I'm going to go down, but I'm going to do everything in my power to take you with me. There's tons of doubling in there. The piano is so front and center. The chorus, the violins, they're all doubling. The brass at re-emphasizing that. It really does feel like the dying. This song is about, like, you know, there's a poem that I was thinking about while this song was playing, like, do not go quietly into that good night. And, you know, let fire burn and whatever. And it feels to me like that is this, but in musical form, where it's like, I'm not going to allow myself to be defeated without, even though I'm at my last breath, I am going to choose how I'm going to go out, right? And so it feels like it's like a powerful statement to itself of saying, like, you know, no matter what happens here, I know I'm probably going to die, but I'm going out on my terms. And it's very, very, very evocative, and stunningly beautiful. I mean, it very much feels like, actually, to be honest with you, it doesn't really feel like a FromSoft track at all. It feels much more like a Xenoblade track, whatever the hell that even means. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, like, it's so emotionally poignant and charged with size and grandeur and sort of self-respect, if that makes sense. It's so
Less than 3.
Thank you so much for that, Viper. You're on a 2-month streak. That's awesome. It's incredible. It's incredible. Let's keep going. I love that. You know, everything I just said now in the phase 3 that says, no. You know what? Fuck dying. You know, it looks the player in the eyes and it says, you know what? Fuck that. No, I know. It's almost like I know what I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. You know, it's like that reaffirmation, self-affirming of saying like, I'm not. Why would I choose to back down? Why am I being so mopey? Why am I allowing myself to be walked all over? I am Caligo miasma of night. I will not be sundered. You know, I will not be killed. The piano, I mean, it's just so elegant. You know, it's interesting because it's less, it's a little bit less, it's more like advanced classical music than, you know, the classical time period. And it does have like echoes of Yoko Shimomura and, you know, Velkana from Monster Hunter Wild/Rise. Like there's a bit that's more classically based, like Baroque and classical time period. This is much, much grander, more romantic, of course, which is the standard scope when we listen to FromSoft music. But this is really like a doubling down of saying like, you know, I know who I am. I'm not going to allow you to snuff me out. Not without me going out on my own terms, but it's like a reaffirmation of like what those terms are, you know? Do you hear that though? You hear that? Biara ya, biara tia, biara tia da da ya. You know what I mean? Like that's really that repetitive pattern down is really the sort of reemphasis or the doubling into saying like no, I will not die like that. You know what I mean? Like it's strong. It's strong but emotional, which is very important. You know, there. Sometimes we conflate strength with a lack of emotion, but strength is emotion, but you know, focused in on self-power and moving through things that are difficult and stuff. It's really that's really impressive. That's very unexpected. It's phenomenal to hear a truly emotionally laden track. I mean, we've had those Elden Beast and so on and so forth, and there's plenty of emotional tracks. You know, the main theme from Dark Souls 3, you know, all the credits themes, so on and so forth. But like, there's something about hearing this sort of modern piano writing that is both romantic and classical, and also like it feels very out of place in a good way for FromSoft. And I think like it's definitely a very, 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 to my ear, tonally different direction than previous installations of FromSoft games, previous installments, excuse me. And so there's something about that is very visceral in an emotional way, in the same way as, say, Elden Beast. To me, that's just as a refusal to die. And at the end, it really does feel like that phase 3 is just, you know, this being raising itself off of the ground. Maybe it hasn't flown the entire time, and it just like releases a torrent from its wings of snowy wind that like can absolutely slay you in a single burst or something. Like there's something so powerful about it finding itself for a moment. It's like the last gasp. They say that when, you know, a couple days before people die, there's this surge of adrenaline and energy where, you know, they have a moment of regaining their composure. And that's what it feels like to me. It's interesting. It's a really powerful piece, and one I enjoyed that immensely. That's insanely good. Insanely good. Wow. There's more Night Rain on the channel. There's certainly more FromSoft on the channel. Thanks a ton, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, I didn't watch it. That's okay. It's all right. I don't have to watch every single one. Oops. Let's. I do want to watch it though. Hold on. It's okay. I don't need to. Oh. See, I told you. Ice Mist. Called that shit. Oh my god. It looks like freaking, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, Seep, yeah. Oh my gosh, what? It freezes the sky? That's what I was literally describing. Ah, God, that's unreal. I mean, I think that may be one of the best visually. Well, I really thought that Elden Beast was absolutely beautiful, but I mean, like that music and fight, I think is like reverence for, you know, such a powerful boss. I mean, it's incredible. The everything about it is just like that's like maximum FromSoft, you know what I mean? Like that's what they're capable of. And that's really even like they could even go further than that just because of like, you know, I mean, it's just astounding. Like the imagery, the sound, it's all just like hand in hand, just astounding. That is a track I would play for a non-gamer to introduce them to FromSoft. I think that and Ludwig to me are easily two of the best tracks that FromSoft's ever made. You know, I'm really like blown away by that. It's really, really crazy powerful. Okay, and then I'll attach the ending to that. Great. And then I'm running out of juice, and then I want to take a break because I have another several hours of streaming at 4 o'clock. So let's listen to Helster the Night Lord. Is that above Promise Consort? Yes. In my opinion, yes. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer and now turned YouTuber. I love talking about video game music from an emotional perspective after a decade on stage. Today, we're listening to Helster the Night Lord. Holster the Night Lord? I don't know. Let's check it out. A little bit of a heartbeat in there. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's really something else. It's almost like Helster's the bringer of the night itself. Like larger than life, a deity, a god, right? Maybe as big as Elden Beast, maybe certainly as powerful, if not more powerful. There's something about that is very scary because you get the strings going, and then you get thum, 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 thum. You know what I mean? Wow, you know, I have to say that this is very, very different from anything we've heard before. I love, I mean, that's not fully true because I forget which track I've listened to previously that featured a bit of electric guitar, a bit of dissonance, a little electronic adjustment, but holy God, like that is absolutely crazy how visceral and intense that sound of pulsation is. That sound of almost as if Holster like covers the landscape in darkness. It feels to me like he's like magic at the fingertips, and just being able to twist and turn time and control it and manipulate it and almost use darkness or the night as a weapon, which is insanely cool. There's like a terror in that sound of the pull of the heartbeat, thum 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 thum, and then you get this. See, there's a part in that where it's actually is about us as Nightfarers, where there's a moment there where the strings actually shift and they bring out a sense of strength. And they say, no, I'm just imagining the whole field just covered in darkness. And first of all, I feel Hellstor is almost like a magician or a mage, a magician, a wizard or some sort of a being that can control the elements and control time. And what I see is this like very thin figure who twists and turns and is able to manipulate, the way things go with his hands. And then what I see is the Nightfarers have to do some sort of mechanic to remove the blight, to remove this darkness and let the sun shine through, like, sun bros. There's a quality in that near where I stopped, where all of a sudden we bury our swords in the sand and we say, we hold on to the hilt and we say, no, we will not stand here in eternal darkness, in eternal damnation. We will fight back against this. And we it's almost as if pierce the heavens, which is from Final Fantasy XIV. But there is something in there about that really lingers in my mind, where suddenly this theme is about both the Nightfarers and the Night Lord, which is really cool. Wow. I love that. Da-da, piara, ba-da-da-do. That sounds like Harry Potter. There's something really just incredible about that. That's really galvanizing towards us as the players. That really feels like it's actually the Nightfarer's theme of doubling down, of not being willing to to accept defeat and really stand their ground, stand poised, ready for battle. And there's a bit of a Mog Lord of Blood in here as well, which is kind of interesting. I do really feel like black holes, or throwing of darkness, of night, there's I really see this image of darkness around the sand, and really just like. It's very interesting how the sopranos come in and a cappella, which there's a real elegance in that sound that I think comes through with the vocals specifically that really works unbelievably well. Like the fact that's a cappella, it's like so powerful. Notice that there's also this echo, and I think the echo really gives the sense of space, the sense of like literal space, almost as if like everything's like sucked from the like fight itself. I don't know. It's like so interesting. To me, this is mockery in music. This is the sound of mocking the player, which is really funny. Like this is throwing everything in the kitchen sink. Thunk, 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 thunk. There's no like holding back at this point, right? Now, again, that's every phase 3, but in this particular instance, it's just there's a volatility in that sound, but it's also like done with a smile. It's like so nefarious, so bad. It's like you can't possibly. What? You defeated me? You know what I mean? Like it's just a downpour, a relentlessness, thrusting every single piece of possible damage towards the player, as if to say, it's impossible. There's no point. And all the same time, doing it without even breaking a sweat. There's an elegance. There's almost like a confidence, a cocky, there's a slight bit of hubris, maybe, that we find an opening and take care of it. But in general, the sound there is so like just straight on, like boom, 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 I love that. Wow. Oh. What a reward. What a reward. Da, da, ya, da, 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 da. What a reward. What a reward. Oh my gosh. What a great iteration of it too. Because we've heard the soprano version of it. Then that time we had a full-bodied, full-bodied choral version. Now I have to see this. I have to see what this looks like because this is insane. Like, I mean, I don't know what to expect. This is dope. Let's check it out. Let's check out. Oh, it's a Lord of Cinder? Whoa. Oh my god, look at the broadsword on the back, the crown on top, the dragging of the sword, almost like a broken thing. What? Moonlit Greatsword? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. But see, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, just the power over night and day. That's so incredible. Wow. And I have to say, that is my absolute favorite version of the end theme. That is preposterously good. Oh, wow. That was extremely impressive visually. I mean, wow, I'm blown away by that. That was so cool. Yeah, I mean, oh, that's definitely my favorite version of the Elden Ring theme as well. Or whatever that, I can't remember exactly what that theme is, but yeah, that was amazing. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me for all the Night Rain bosses. I mean, God, it's my favorite part of the year when a new FromSoft something comes out and get to talk about the music. There's lots more FromSoft on the channel, more Night Rain on the channel as well. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Bye. Wow, unbelievable. Oh, that shit would be so hard. I already multi-stream. Thanks, Leo. That's insanely good. Oh my God, that's so cool. It also just showcases like what's possible for FromSoft. Like the sky's the limit. There's so many opportunities for like what they could do in the future. It's insane. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy. Tier list when. I'll do that in a separate video, of course. Wow. Wow. Duh. Oh, that was amazing. I ain't doing that now. That was so beautiful. All of that was so good. Wow. I'm so glad I will never play any of that. That shit is way too hard for me. That's too much. Yeah, I would say boss themes. I'm pretty sure. I have to say, right off the bat, the first two I listened to were not very good. The first two tracks we listened to are okay. Those were not. Yeah, those first two were not very good. I say that like personally, like from my own like perspective. I was not crazy about those. Now I'm glad I made videos on them. But yeah, they were okay. Hold on one second. I want to see this really quick. Whoa. What the fuck? wow, that's absurd. Now, do I like Night Rain? Not especially. To me, Night Rain is I don't know. I think it's very I wish it was slower. I wish that it you could see that a timer for how long you have until the fire closes in. I think I hate RNG. I hate the random stuff. Like, I also don't really like roguelites unless it's like Windblown and or like card games like Monster Train or Slay the Spire or any of those iterations. Like, I really like those. But in general, like, you know, I hate that you kind of have to just rush and be fast. And I'm not saying I need it to be as slow as Elden Ring. Obviously, that's not true. But, you know, to me, it just, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, wow, like, this is a magical experience. Like, it's so cool that they're doing something like this. And then other times I'm like, wow, this is incredibly mediocre and feels thrown together and disorganized. And it's like confusing and this, that, and the other. And I hate that everything is up to chance, and, you know, every time you play, it's the exact same overworld. You know, I have frustrations with it. To me, it's very much a 7 out of 10 game, which is not to say it's bad. I just personally don't really like it. I'm really happy though that musically it is delivering, and boss wise it's delivering on an experience that is really polished. I think the boss design here is insane. So interesting to watch. I would absolutely maul trying to play this and then dying and then having to do the whole fucking run over again. No, that's not for me. So, you know, I think it's really cool that, you know, I think it's really cool that they are willing to try something. I think it's pretty neat that they, you know, are willing to experiment and see what works. I mean, the fact that we're getting like cohesive co-op experiences are extremely cool. You know, I really dig all that. It feels like a modern approach. I love sprinting, the jumping. I know that they fixed mantling. You know, I think if someone wants more Elden Ring and they like this type of gameplay, then fuck. I mean, like, you're very, very, you know, happy. No, I don't think it's a cash grab or anything. I don't think it's slop. I mean, but these terms are used by, like, I don't think those words are fair. Those phrases I don't think they really apply. I think it's just an experiment. I think it's $40, you know what I mean? Obviously different depending on where you live, it's a little bit more, but if you don't mind dealing with all that stuff, then, I mean, I think you've got yourself like such a good game. It is clear that they want to spend time with it and work on it. And, you know, it's sold a ton, and I think it's great. It's great to, hey, Akaru, how are you? I'm well, thank you. You know, I don't think it's a cash grab. I don't think it's like that lazily thrown together. I mean, I certainly think that it's probably, you know, it's a spin-off. I don't even know if I can count it as like a FromSoft game to be honest. But musically and stuff, musically, I think it's some of FromSoft's best, to be honest. It's up there with Bloodborne for what I heard today. I'm pretty impressed. I mean, like, there are 4 tracks here. Well, you can't compare it like that because there's only 8 tracks, so you can't really say that. I think Bloodborne as a package is perfect musically. I think, you know, it is too frenetic for me, personally. I felt that the round table keep beautiful. Libra's theme is amazing. This theme, Noster, I said Gnosis. Noster's theme is amazing. Pretty much every boss except for the first 2 is amazing. Musically, really, really impressive stuff. And the boss design is insane. It's so cool. I played a couple rounds with randoms, and then I played a couple rounds with folks in my community. But I mostly just no, you're fine. But yeah, so for me, it's like I just can't commit to like I just hate losing all my progress and starting over. It's like one of the things about me that really I can't do. I just can't do it unless it's like an indie game. Like this is I can't do it. I'd rather play I'd rather go back and actually play what's it called, Shadow of the Erdtree. Especially because I saw that there's a Sekiro item that you get from one of the burning things. What's it called? That lasts for 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah. Well, okay, I think I'll stop there. I won't be able to get to the other stuff I wanted to get to. There was a Genshin track I wanted to get to and a Honkai Star Rail track I wanted to get to. I try to do those tomorrow morning. The deflecting tier, yes. Tomorrow I will be doing let's see. Tomorrow I will be doing a bunch of themed videos. I'd like to get to at least 5 videos if possible. That's like a shit ton of songs. That's like, I don't know if it's possible. I need to film as much as possible though, because my stream schedule is crazy coming up between Stellar Blade and the Switch 2, and all the stuff that, we have a lot of stuff to watch. Summer Game Fest and tomorrow's State of Play, where they'll announce the 60 FPS Bloodborne. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I didn't know about that, but yes. ZZZ is having its 2nd anniversary, plus with Mario Kart. You're fine, Broly. I'm just chilling. Mario Kart, I'd like to do a video on. So, yeah. Sweet. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. And we will talk soon. I will be back on in 2 hours for a Nine Souls OST listen, where we will be listening to the entirety of Nine Souls. Very excited about that. Yes, I have, Stevenson. At least like the most popular ones. It's very good, and plus 2 of my own personal covers, which you can definitely check out. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a ton. We'll see. You're so welcome, Viper. I'm glad that you enjoyed Ace Combat 7. It's so good, right? So good. So good. Feel free to join the Discord if you like. Yeah, we'll talk very, very soon.